So you know how I said this game likes to play with game format styles?
Yeah.
This is the most jarring one.
Beware.
Are you gonna be the mayor?
Beware the words. Words? What do they mean? Contiguous words. Those who dream. Those who dream.
Hold a moment. There's a strange new sensation in my mind.
What?
Weiss's voice rose in a quizzical way.
Did it turn into a visual novel?
It is not quizzical.
What's going on here?
The villager's body shuddered as he slowly opened his eyes. Perhaps we should start by asking this man.
Who? I'm Panda. This is Weiss. We heard that something happened to this village, so we came to see if we could help because Popola wanted us to.
The villager stared at Panda and Weiss.
If you can speak to me, I must have caught you in my dream. How's that again?
The villager explained. In the past weeks, a mysterious disease called the Death Dream had spread across the Forest of Myth. Those who caught in it were cursed to fall asleep and live forever within the world of their own dreams. The village mayor had determined that the Death Dream was spread from person to person by spoken words, but before he could learn more, the disease took him as well. Weiss stared at the mayor, his mouth twitching slightly. "Now see here," he said. "Are you saying that we have been absorbed into your dream?"
Well, yes.
Said the mayor.
I think you have. Oh, crap.
Said Panda.
So that means we've caught the Death Dream?
Before the mayor could confirm Panda's suspicion, Weiss exploded with rage. Ridiculous, preposterous, completely unfathomable. On every conceivable level. I don't even recall falling asleep. I'm a book. The mayor attempted to take Weiss's complaints in stride.
And that's just how the Death Dream works, he said.
Brushing aside the book's remarks. My remarks shall not be brushed aside, fool, and it will behoove you to remember that this world allows me to view all of its narration. The mayor twisted his mouth into an embarrassed grimace, then quickly changed the subject to who Panda had seen and what they had discussed since coming to the village.
Something there must have caused you to enter my dreams,
Said the mayor.
A certain conversation, a specific word, something.
Panda and Weiss racked their brains, but could find no easy solutions. There were simply too many words to consider, too much random chatter, too many meaningless conversations. Grimoire Weiss does not engage in meaningless conversations. The mere suggestion that Weiss chose his words carelessly seemed to sting his pride. It does not seem to sting my pride, you bloated gasbag of a narrator. It has demolished it utterly. Irritated, Weiss looked skyward, as if searching for answers in the heavens. I was doing no such thing. Just leave me alone already. The anger created by his harsh words blew over to Panda like a contagion.
Wait!
Said Panda suddenly.
Did someone just say contaminated?
Yes, I believe so. What of it?
Well, that villager told us to watch out for contiguous words, right?
The mayor leaned forward with renewed interest, pushing a startled Weiss aside in the process.
Well, he must have said something, right?
Asked the mayor.
some specific combinations of words. What was it? It was about dreaming or something, dreams, or what the hell was it?
A sheep! Cried Weiss, suddenly, blurting out the first thing that popped into his head.
Okay, to be fair, that's reasonable.
The others stared at him for a moment before slowly shaking their heads.
I've slaughtered them all.
After a few more minutes of thought, Panda's face suddenly lit up.
I remember!
He said.
Those who dream, that's what he said, I'm sure of it. Those who dream!
At this, the mayor produced a thick sheaf of papers from his pocket. He flipped through them a few more times before finally nodding his approval at Panda.
That sounds right,
he said, as a stray sheet of paper fluttered to the ground.
My notes also mentioned something about that. I bet it was the last thing you heard before you fell asleep.
The mayor shook his head, his worn pencil stub tracing lines across the lone piece of paper.
For the last month, I've done nothing but study the disease we call the death dream,
he said.
I mean, I'm the mayor, right? It's my job to protect people from whatever comes along. But I never expected a couple of outsiders to start entering people's dreams.
The mayor paused, a grimace crossing his face.
I should probably be taking notes or something.
Weiss immediately fired back. I applaud the force of will it takes to research a disease in your dreams, he said, but perhaps we should bend your efforts to escaping this place instead of trying to understand it. The mayor's hand tightened around his pencil, snapping it off at the tip.
I've tried to escape. From the very moment I realized I was locked inside my own dream, I've been looking for a way out. But I don't think it exists. I mean, this is my dream, right? If there was an exit, I'd know about it.
He paused for a moment, his unfocused eyes staring at nothing.
My village was beautiful,
he said to no one in particular.
and it was filled with the most wonderful people you could have ever hoped to meet. But once this disease took hold, things changed. It's like someone took a sponge and sucked all the color out of our lives. I just want us to be whole again. I want us to be free.
The mayor's voice took on a note of steady determination.
And I won't stop trying until it happens.
Panda nodded in agreement.
Huh? Wait a second. I didn't nod. Why are you? Look, if we could be of any help,
Said Panda.
just ask. Now hold on, I did not just say that.
Silence! Cried Weiss. The Grimoire looked from Panda to the mayor and back again, his face filling with confidence. Grimoire's Weiss is always confidence, thank you very much. Now see here, Mayor, you told us that nothing can exist in the streams without your knowing of it. But yet you seemed surprised to see us when we first arrived, yes? The mayor slowly raised his head, realization dawning on his face.
Oh my God.
He said,
You're right. You're right. I had no idea you were coming.
The human imagination is a limitless engine, said Weiss. The dreams are the fuel. You can imagine an exit, then it must be so. With your permission, we shall search it out,
Thank you.
said the mayor.
I don't know how I can repay you.
Payment is not required. We are as eager as you to be done with this place. The mayor suddenly felt as though he could breathe again. He'd almost forgotten what it was like.
Good luck, you two.
He called at the departing forms of Panda and Weiss.
We're all counting on you.
As Panda slowly faded into the misty forest, the mayor was struck by a sense of déjà vu. I saw this man once before, he thought, but where? Panda's mood darkened as he trudged through the forest. Hours earlier, when the beauty of the place was still a new thing, He'd been confident they could get in, find an exit, and be home in time for dinner. But the deeper they went, the more the forest closed in around them. The mist made it difficult to see more than a foot in any direction. The moss-covered rocks seemed determined to twist his ankle. More than once, he'd been forced to steady himself on the rough bark of a tree, and his hands now left small trails of blood on everything he touched. Additionally, Weiss was proving to be a spectacularly poor traveling companion. Unhindered by either terrain or physical effort, he spent most of his time urging Panda to pick up the pace and grumbling about their slow progress. Finally, after Weiss muttered something about legless turtles being more adept at navigating the environment, Panda snapped.
You know what, Weiss?
He cried.
Go to hell! We're stopping! I need a rest for a few minutes before I throw up!
Panda leaned against the tree and tried to stretch the knots from his back.
How can this stupid forest be so goddamn big?
He muttered to himself. The moment the words trembled from his mouth, a cacophony of insects sprang to life. As if infuriated by his lack of respect, every imaginable form of buzz, click, and hiss roared out with a volume that rattled his teeth. Panda slapped his hands over his ears and screamed to be heard.
Weiss, what the hell is going on?
Panda could see Weiss's mouth moving, but he might as well have been shouting in a tornado. The insect screamed, the forest howled. And then, just as Panda's ears seemed to be ready to tear from his head and go running for cover, the sound diminished. Hesitantly, Panda removed the hands from his left ear and listened to the creatures of the woods. Zri, zri, zri. Shik, shik, shik. This just becomes ASMR at this point. Ooh, ma. Ooh, ma. Shik, shik, shik. Shik, shik, shik. Shik, shik, shik. As the insect symphony dimmed around another decimal, Panda began to determine patterns in the sound. This isn't random, he thought. This isn't just white noise. It's something else. The insects weren't just calling out. They were asking a question. 1, with it suffers. 2, with it is ideal. 3, with it is dangerous. What is it? By my pages, it's a riddle.
I guess so. This kind of thing happens a lot in dreams, right? Maybe it's the key to getting out of this stupid place.
Then I leave it to you to answer.
Okay!
Now, just so you know, I don't remember, but it might take you back to the beginning if you get the answer wrong.
Crap.
Yeah, so.
1 with it suffers.
I'm letting you figure this out. I'm taking the stance of Weiss. You gotta figure this out.
Okay. I'm gonna say a secret.
Okay. Inwardly furious that Weiss left the task to him, Panda sighed and gave the only answer that made sense.
It's a secret, right?
The sound of the insect stopped, and suddenly as it began, the forest undergrowth parted before Panda like a rippling wave, opening a new path. These forest anthropods are making a road for us, said Weiss with glee. Pleased at passing the test, Panda moved on with new intensity.
Yeah.
The path offered his body relief from the undergrowth, but gave even greater cheer to his mind. As long as they were on a path, their journey had a purpose.
I guess the forest has accepted us, huh?
Said Panda after a bit. Weiss spun around to face his companion. Do not mistake the will of the forest for some happy pet you can suddenly befriend. We have no idea where this path leads. As Weiss finished speaking, the pair turned a corner and found themselves facing a clear forest spring. Smiling, Panda picked up a small rock and sent it skipping across the surface of the water. Good heavens, said Weiss. His surprise was understandable. Each time the rock struck the surface of the water, a musical note rang out. When the rock finally stopped moving and sank to the bottom of the spring, the ripples it left behind came together to form words. I enter through the window, but I break no glass. When night falls, I vanish. What am I? Absurdly easy, barked Weiss. Now answer it. Panda grit his teeth as he tried not to reach out and strangle his companion. He's right after all. This one is pretty easy.
How do you strangle a book?
It's easy.
Okay. I enter through the window, but I break no glass. When night falls, I vanish. What am I?
A bird.
Bird break through my windows. I'm gonna say sunlight. Sunlight.
A plume of water suddenly burst from the spring. Sunlight filtered through the trees and reflected off the plume, creating a
refracted,
shimmering
too.
rainbow that spanned the entire horizon.
I like where this is going.
Yeah. In all my years, said Weiss softly, I've never seen such a sight. Perhaps I've misunderstood the intentions of this place.
Hey, look!
Cried Panda, awaking Weiss from his daze.
There's a house over there.
Glancing in the direction of his friend's extended hand, Weiss saw a strange cottage nestled among the trees. That's
weird, isn't it, Weiss? I mean, who would build a house all the way out here?
Panda walked over and pounded on the door. After a minute of solid banging, the door cracked open, and a small man peered out. His body was cloaked from neck to toe in a large black cape, while his face was obscured by mist. Began Panda, but before he could get any further, the cloaked man held up a hand and began speaking. I have 4 legs in the morning and 2 at noon, but I end the night with 3. What am I?
A lucky gentleman.
Panda tried to ask the cloaked man who he was and what he was doing there, but he simply repeated the question. If we wish to engage this man in the conversation, said Weiss, it seems we must answer his riddle.
Yeah, I suppose,
said Panda.
But at least it's an easy one. Huh. Man. A very lucky man. I have 4 legs in the morning, 2 at noon. A clock.
Okay. I don't think we can type in our own answer.
Can I phone a friend?
I'm here.
Ben, I think it's a demon.
Are you sure?
No.
Give me your logic for it being a demon.
There are demons that sometimes like to walk around on different legs.
So you're saying between morning and noon, he lost 2 legs.
No, he just stood up.
But he decided to go on 3 at night.
Yeah,
This seems highly inefficient.
it does. How could it be an angel?
They don't need legs.
Exactly.
Exactly. I think we can count that one out.
So, the man, the 3 legs at night, I get. That makes the most sense.
That being said, that could be the case for noon and morning too.
Some of us don't have that type of luck. Some of us are lucky at night. Anyways, a Damon?
I'm not sure Matt Damon has anything to do with the scam.
Matt Damon!
As soon as the words were spoken, the forest began to swirl around them. Leaves browned and fell from trees, branches withered and died, and a tall green grass shriveled into dark curls of ash. A massive demon suddenly appeared before Panda and unleashed a tremendous roar. Wrong. Now try again.
Really? Four legs in the morning and 2 at noon, but I end the night with 3. A dog. Not an answer. I can't understand why it would be How
I
is
mean,
it
we counted angel out.
right?
It says demon is wrong. We only have one choice at this point.
How does it have 4 legs in the morning?
I don't know. What if it's not times of day, but times of one's life?
Let's try man.
The mist dissolved from the cloaked figure, and he spoke a single word. Correct. With that, the man flung his garments aside, revealing his true identity.
A nudist.
A streaker. Yes.
You're the mirror!
Cried Panda. The small man slowly shook his head.
I am not the mayor you know. Now listen to my words. Long ago I saw a version of you that was not yourself.
I imagine that, Panda.
You saw, wait, you saw what? I'm sorry, I don't understand the thing you just said. It will make sense in time. At present, I simply congratulate you on cracking the seal of the death dream. Now you must go to the man at the forest entrance.
With that, the man turned on his heel and slammed the door behind him. As Panda watched, the mist seeped up from the ground and enveloped the college, erasing it from existence. When Panda and Weiss returned to the forest entrance, they found the mayor leaning against a tree. As soon as he caught sight of the duo, he sprang to his feet and scrambled over to them.
Good gravy!
He cried.
You made it! You actually made it back!
His left hand grasped Panda's and pumped it so fiercely it threatened to dislodge from the socket, while his right seized Weiss by the cover and swung him through the air. Gah! By the heavens, stop shaking me, fool! We have not even told you if we succeeded or not. The Miles smiled broadly and shook his head.
I'm just so happy you're alive. I didn't think I'd ever see you again.
Panda withdrew himself from the mayor's eager handshake with a slight smile.
We broke the death dream still!
He said.
At least I think we did.
The mayor's face beamed as Panda filled him in on the details. When the tales were done, the three of them lied down on the forest ground and fell asleep. Wait a second. That's crazy. Why don't we just lie down and go to sleep? This is one hell of a story. Nah, well, oh well. I'll leave that one for you.
Take your endless prattle and go to sleep, fool! Fighting against the rules of this place is furthering yourself!
Panda and the mayor obediently reclined atop the grassy earth.
Yeah.
Have you forgotten, continued Weiss, it is words that control the death dream, words that allow us to move from place to place. No matter how unnatural they seem, the words are absolute. Therefore, if words are telling us to sleep, then sleep we shall. And once we do, the story will continue. With that, the trio found their eyes growing heavy, their breath slowing.
This is the first time,
Began the mayor.
the first time I've felt tired since I was imprisoned here.
His words were cut off by a loud, long yawn, and he remembered nothing more. They might have
Forevermore.
slept for an hour or a year. When they awoke, things had slightly more real quality to them. The mist felt thicker, the leaves greener. It was clear that they had awakened from their dream. Panda shook the mayor's shoulder gently.
Good news!
He said,
We made it! Oh, wow!
said the mayor in an awed voice.
We did! I'm back!
He blinked once, twice, as though not quite believing the sight before him.
You two have no idea how much this means. The death dream had started to spread through our village, and I wanted to. Well, I thought I could figure out how to stop it, but I guess that wasn't the case. I must have got the disease and become trapped in my own dream.
The mayor started to stand, then collapsed back to the earth. He stared at his legs as if trying to remember how they worked, then glanced at Panda and shrugged. Without a word, the fighter reached down and pulled the mayor to his feet.
Real life may take some getting used to.
A wry smile crossed the mayor's lips. You shall relearn in short order, I am sure, said Weiss. For now you should return to your home and rest.
No!
Said the mayor, swaying on his unsteady feet.
No, I can't. Some of the villagers are still trapped in the death dream. I have to save them.
The mayor slowly made his way to the divine tree in the center of the village, then bowed his head and prayed silently.
This is a holy tree.
He explained when the prayer was finished.
It's the guardian of our village's history and memories.
Superstition will only make our mission harder, muttered Weiss. We should not put our faith in the gods. The mayor shook his head.
Not the gods, the words. Legend says that our tree is the home to powerful magic, known as the Sailed Vars.
Pan and Weiss could not contain their surprise. It seemed a goal had been found in the most unexpected of places. I say, muttered Weiss, this is certainly a stroke of luck. As the three of them said their goodbyes, Panda mentioned the strange man who had given them the third riddle and the mysterious words he had left with them.
I once saw a version of you that was not yourself,
muttered the mayor.
What in the world?
Lost in thought, he stared into space for a long moment.
You know,
He said softly.
this is gonna sound weird, but I had a feeling I'd seen you two before.
Panda tried to keep a straight face and failed, but the mayor didn't seem to notice.
Deja vu, right? Anyway, I figured it's just some kind of illusion created by the death dream. It probably doesn't mean anything.
Panda gave the mayor a nod and a smile, but inwardly his thoughts were racing.
There is something wrong about the mayor and his words. I wish I understood what the hell was going on here.
That riddle would prove to be the most difficult one of all.
Oh, thank you so much. Now I can finally return to a normal life.
This is one of the most bizarre diseases I've ever encountered.
I know. That's why I have to help the other villagers, no matter what. Wow.
So, that's a text-based adventure
Yeah,
as a game format.
I got that. I thought we were going to go visual novel, but nope.
Nope. So,
Full on text.
let's go save real quick.
Okay, yeah, we'll do that. For a sealed verse, that didn't take much effort. Oh no.
Something happened. Give us a moment, Otter.
There it goes. Yeah, when you hit it, it just jarred it just enough. All right.
We'll be back in 3, 2, 1. Yes, all a touch too easy if you ask me. It's almost as if someone was guiding us to this village.
You think too much, Weiss. Wow, we literally got a text
Give me
adventure.
a minute.
Oh, color came. Nope. Okay. We're gonna start now. Ready? In 3, 2, 1. Jump. 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 Jump.
So yeah,
That's a weird street air. That is bizarre. You're right. That was pretty.
It comes out of left field, but it's like I kind of like that.
Yeah, that was actually kind of enjoyable.
Yeah.
I hope the listeners enjoyed that. I couldn't decide on a voice for the mayor. I kept messing with it.
It felt like you were going for a Bill Clinton in the end.
Actually, I started there.
Really?
So in about the middle part, I was like, I'm gonna try and do Clinton, and then I was like, this is coming out like Don Knotts.
So head towards the back of the village. Yeah, that way.
Yeah.
Because
Oh,
we can help others get out of their dream.
is it gonna be the same?
More or less.
Great.
A different dream.
This must be another person infected by the death dream.
It would appear that way, yes.
Guys, please don't tell me we have to go back in there. I'm no good at this mind game crap. I'd rather hit something in the face and be done with it. Ah, yes.
Perhaps you just spend less time complaining and more time getting on with the mission.
Yeah. Dream.
I breathe air scented with death and resist the urge to laugh, for I know it will sound like the words of a madman. How long have I been in this fresh hell? My prison is tucked under a stairway in the long, unused catacombs of some infinite castle. Outside I hear the sounds of a funeral dirge that seems without end. Light has no place here. Wind is a forgotten friend. I pray for death to come, for he forsakes us, or me.
All
Time
of us.
passes, and eternity slips by in the single tick of the clock. Someone knocks on my prison.
Hey, anyone there?
I hear an unfamiliar voice say, "My savior." I claw at the door of my jail, embedding thick splinters into my ragged nails. I scream for help. I laugh. I sob. Such is the product of my addled mind. Surely it cannot be true. Let's see.
I got it.
You got it? Okay.
Yeah.
Help me!
I cry.
For the love of all the gods, help me!
Impossibly, I hear the sound of a lock being torn out and falling to the floor. As the door slowly creaks open, I have just enough time to see a silver-haired man and a floating book before the light pours inside. My eyes, accustomed to blackness, explode with pain,
Oi!
and I am forced to turn away.
Who are you?
I ask, shaking hands, covering my face.
How have you come to this place?
I am Governor of Ice. This is Panda. Long have we been searching for you. Now come, stand. We shall awaken from this nightmare together. The one known as Panda extends his massive hand and pulls me from the cell.
Hello.
Though my eyes are slow to adjust to freedom, my ears are as keen as ever, and they recognize the staccato sound of heavy rain.
I never thought it'd rain again.
I whisper. Oh, would that this were not such a terrible storm, said Grandma Weiss. Look at your feet. I force my eyes open and see water pooling around my feet and lapping at my shins.
There's so much of it.
Yes, and much more comes each moment we delay. If we do not make our escape, we shall all drown in this castle. We know that you are weak, but you are our only hope to surviving this place. Time had long forgotten, friend. What? Yeah.
Narrator
Yeah.
again.
Time, that long forgotten friend, made itself known again. I nodded my head and swore to save my rescuers, no matter the cost. The castle's catacombs are a maze, twisting upon themselves like an endless entrails of a giant. I squinted down at the dim corridors and proceeded north. Select north.
Yeah, it's the only choice.
At the end of the corridor, I find a row of 20 gorgeous canopy beds resting atop a carpet of velvet. All are covered in a thick layer of dust and cobwebs. Searching for the door to the next room, I come upon a shapeless mass of gray matter.
It's a brain.
It has been shoved against the side of the wall, and despite my fever, I think I see the outlines of the door just beyond. When I reach out a finger and touch the piece of the mast, it turns to dust and drifts away on the way. Realization slowly dawns, and I fall to my knees and weep. Corpses. I face a mountain of charred and crumbling corpses.
Yummy.
I look from it to the beds and back again until the horror dawns full upon me. Someone was piling these bodies into the tower and set them ablaze. Whether they were alive or dead, I do not know, and sanity will not permit me to consider the proposition further. I make a sound. Whether scream or laughter, I cannot be certain. Then my mind grants me a merciful blackness, and I find myself opening the door and leaving that most terrible of rooms. I squint down the dim corridors. I don't remember the way out. It's up to you, Danny. And proceed east. I squint down the dim corridors and proceed north. I squint down the dim corridors. At the end of the path, the waters rise to my waist, exhausting me both physically and spiritually. I pray that this is the way out. Eventually, I can stand the sight of the waters no longer, and so turn my eyes upward. Imagine my surprise when I see a series of paintings hanging on the faded plaster wall. Each depicts a person in the prime of his life, clad in clothing of the highest quality. The styles, however, are strange to me, leading me to believe that these people had lived long, long ago. One subject wears an outfit that particularly catches my eye. It was constructed of a thin, breezy cloth and decorated with a motif of flowers and birds, while encircling the figure's waist is a leather belt of the most perfect construction. It is a stunning costume, even by modern standards. As I gaze at the portrait, I am struck by the desire to touch it with my own hands, yet as I extend the single finger to the painting, I am gripped with the most unpleasant feeling. Staring closely at the image, I see it bent and warp into a shape of another figure. Something behind the picture is pointing at me. Is it another prisoner? A fellow inmate trapped for eternity in this place? I cannot let it pass, and so I seize the portrait with both hands and throw it into the water. The wall is hollow behind the painting, and inside I can just make out a body. Whether or not it is a prisoner, there would be no rescue. The poor soul is long dead. Scraps of clothing lie on the floor around these bones. Only a small amount of the fabric has survived, but it features the same delicate designs that were depicted in the portrait. I have been admiring a row of corpses, blocked from view by portraits of each victim at their pinnacle. Enough, shielding my eyes, I paddle forward through the water. I squint down at the dim corridors and proceed south. I squint down the dim corridors and proceed west. At the end of the path, a row of heavy wooden casks lie on their sides in the dark chamber. Doubtless they are filled with wine. My thirst roars for life. I cannot remember the last time my parched throat had relief. I scramble to the first cask and pull frantically at the cork. The theft of a few cups means nothing, I tell myself. The casks will be ruined by the flood regardless. Finally, the cork surrenders to my attack, and a thick red liquid bursts forth from the hole. This is no wine. It is blood still warm from the body. Whether animal or something else, I cannot say. The foul liquid soon mixes in the rising floodwaters, creating a warmth that laps against my thighs. By all the gods, are the rest of these casks filled with blood as well? I lack the courage to confirm my suspicion. Disgust quickly becomes fear as I turn to flee, but my weakened legs betray me, sending me toppling over into the red ocean below. The smell of death is everywhere. It threatens to consume me. I must escape this hell. Crawling on all fours like an animal, holding back screams lest any foulness enter my mouth, I lurch forward through the red waters and out of the room to freedom. I sprint down the dim corridors and proceed east. I squint down the dim corridors and proceed south. I squint down the dim corridors.
I think you were taking doing this in my head.
And proceed west. The waters had risen to my chin, and now leapt greedily at my mouth and nose.
You dumb bitch!
Shouts Panda. He surely desires to say more, but the rest of his insult is cut short by the rising water. Grimmer of ice, wet and tattered, floats on the water's surface. It is already too late for him. This wasn't how it's supposed to end.
Oh, you kidding me? Okay, so I need to write this down then as I go.
Maybe create a map as you go, yeah.
Yeah. Good thing I got paper here. Did I save?
If not, it's probably doing a checkpoint, so you're good.
Okay. Should I?
Nah, just go talk to the same person.
Try this again.
Yeah.
Hey, you. This must be another person infected by Death Dream.
We'll go as fast as we can until we start getting choices.
Okay. Wow, that did not take as long. Okay. I'm at
Alright.
the start. And I am going to proceed
North.
north. So, I'm in this room.
Yes.
Okay. North.
Yes. And this is the room full of corpses.
Right. Beautiful, beautiful, dead, burnt corpses.
Alright.
I feel like,
South would take you back to where you came from.
yeah, so
So you need
east.
to proceed east. Write that down.
That'll work. Okay.
And you're probably going to proceed north from here.
Yeah, because that it has to.
It's the only other direction.
Okay.
This is where it branches.
Alrighty.
South isn't an option.
No. I feel like we did east last time.
Let's do north again.
No, I did north the first time because I just kept
Did
trying
you?
to go forward.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
Let's go west.
okay, we'll go west.
At the end of the path. I wrote. Nope, you've been here. This is
Yeah.
the bloody room.
Yeah, bloody.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna mark that. Okay.
Yep.
Yep. Okay, we're going back.
So head back out
Yep.
towards the east.
Alright, I'm back here then. So east again, maybe?
You can try. At the end of the path.
No.
Yes, I find myself in a great hall with only the sound of rain for comfort. The waterlogged red carpet squishes beneath my feet, and I approach the center of the room. Once there, I behold a beautiful dining table, upon which rests china and silver of the finest construction, as well as the remains of a fantastic feast. As my eyes continue to adjust, I see many chairs surrounding this table, each holding a dinner guest. Noticing movement, I approach the chair at the table's head, but as truth of the matter dawns on me, I recoil in horror. The host of the feast is a corpse, as are all the invited guests. An army of foul, wriggling insects have made homes in their remains, and this was the movement I saw. The once splendid feast was now nothing more than a requiem for the damned. I take a moment to steady my shaking hands, then slowly back away from the table. Desperate to lose sight of the abomination before me, my gaze lands on the chairs upon which the dead were seated. This is a mistake, for the chairs prove to be even more terrible than the feast itself. For each one is covered in a layer of spikes that run from the seat up the back and down the arms.
Ow!
This explains the color of the carpet beneath me. I can only pray that the unfortunate diners were dead when the meal began.
No, that's a medieval torture device.
For if not, it is a simple task to envision the agonized screams that must have sprung forth from their mouths.
Chair of torture.
My mind grasped frantically at the possibility that these souls had committed some some terrible crime for which this was punishment. Though in truth, I suspect they had committed no crime at all.
Yeah, you're probably right, buddy.
There would be no tomorrow for these unfortunates. This was their last supper. I squint down the dim corridors.
Oh, I can go north now. Because if I go west, I'm going backwards.
Backwards, so proceed north.
Okay.
Against all hope, we make it to the front door.
Bring it down!
Someone cries, and so I give myself to the effort. In tandem with Panda and Grimoire of Ice, I slam my body against the thick, sturdy door. On the third try, it gives way, and we find ourselves sprawled in front of the castle. The storm is in retreat. The clouds above us are still dark and foreboding. But to the west, I can see the thin shimmer of sunlight trying to break through.
How can I thank you?
I cry as tears join the rain in my cheeks.
I would surely have died if you didn't get me out of there.
Looking down, I suddenly notice that my dress is in tatters, and sheepishly I try to cover my exposed skin. Your dress, said Weiss. Then you're a woman, madam.
I picked the wrong voice.
Yes, I am.
I proffer the two a smile.
I suppose that comes as nothing of a surprise, seeing as how I existed only in the form of words.
And a silly voice. I can see that the one known as Panda is disappointed that the torn dress was given no further description, but he hides it well.
I thought I was going to see some naughty bits, like...
With a nod and a shrug, the three of us set forth to our awakening.
Hey, Weiss, you think we're going to see her...
But behind us, an awakening of another kind is taking place. Black smoke fills the abandoned castle, providing the countless damned souls inside with their final shroud. After a moment, the castle's windows shatter with a mighty roar. A fresh breeze blows through the hallways and corridors, clearing the smoke away for good. As we watch in awe, uncountable black shadows slowly flicker to life, crossing to and fro in front of the broken windows. The castle's dead have awakened to the new life as shades.
You have anything to say about that?
Hopefully there'll be no labyrinth next time.
I agree. That was a little bit painful. I hear you there.
Alright, we have one more person to save.
Do I talk to her again?
You can if you want. If she'll talk to
Nope.
you.
She will not talk. Now she won't even...
She's just embarrassed now.
Why?
You saw her naked in words. And another victim. This work certainly is trying.
Here we go. I'm surprised, Weiss. You're a book. All this word stuff should be right up your alley.
Yes, quite. Well, enough chatter. Let's me off.
He would be the best at this. Why isn't he doing this?
A colony of massive sculptures was visible in the distance, and their tall forms scraping against the sky. Weiss and Panda had never seen such a sight, and their eyes widened as they tried to take it in.
Hey, Weiss, we keep walking, but those things don't get any closer. I don't get it. Are they really that big?
As Weiss considered his answers, the sun beat down on them with renewed ferocity. Perhaps they are some manner of mirage, he said. Under this heat, a mirage or two would hardly be an unexpected sight. Panda nodded and wiped the sweat from his brow, leaving a trail of sand in its place. He thought he'd never be so thirsty. The ancient road in which they walked was black and cracked with age. Here and there, thin wisps of grass pushed up and through the rocky surface, as if defying those who had laid this material down over their home. The heat reflecting from the road made Panda lightheaded. Suddenly, he dropped to his knees and slammed his hand against the black surface.
God damn it!
He said,
Is this some kind of joke? Well, I'm not laughing.
I am. The complaining had already begun. Weiss tried not to let his eyes roll too much. A joke, he said. No joke. This road clearly leads to the city of art. Perhaps the path itself is simply some manner of grand artistic work.
Oh, come on, that's bullshit and you know it.
Possibly, but thinking of it in this way might make it easier for you to bear. Panda glanced at Weiss' grinning face, cursed silently to himself, and resumed to walking. I think he was just bearing the bear pun right there. He's a panda and whatnot.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I saw it.
As
And
time
I'm
passed,
working.
Panda's feet grew more painful, and his throat drier than he thought possible. He tried not to look further than the next step ahead, because the bright sunlight made him hesitant to trust his own senses. "We are definitely getting closer," said Weiss, in an effort to cheer his companion. "Yes, this much is certain." Encouraged, Panda lifted his gaze. Suddenly he stopped walking, choosing instead to stand in the middle of the road, with his mouth and eyes wide open and his finger pointed in the distance.
Water.
He cried. "Water?" asked Weiss. "Preposterous! I don't see any water."
Right there it is. Did you see it? Look, the daughters were falling off it.
Without waiting for a response, Panda sprang to life and bounded towards the site. What in the... There was no water. There was nothing but sand in every direction. Panda closed his eyes and sighed as Weiss floated up behind him, chuckling softly. "I believe this is known as a mirage," he said.
Sabotage.
Many a desert traveler had spoken of such things. Panda shook his head, bewildered. Suddenly he pointed off in the distance, his eyes wide once more.
Wait, there it is. I just missed it. Look, it's right there.
Panda sprinted off again, leaving Weiss with no choice but to follow. After a few minutes of running, Panda came to a halt.
I could have sworn it was right around here.
Confused, he put his hands up to his eyes and rubbed them vigorously. As soon as he stopped, he noticed a blue shimmering pool of clear water just over the next rise. With a shout, he bounded off in search of it. The chase continued for nearly an hour, until the exasperated Weiss finally floated up to Panda and struck him in the face with his cover. "You damn blithering idiot! Stop this at once! There is no water here!" Panda's face clouded.
There isn't.
"There is not, and perhaps next time you will listen to me when I tell you as such." Weiss paused for a moment, then continued speaking in a slightly kinder tone. "However, I suppose this mad chase was not altogether wasted. It seems we have arrived in the city of art." Panda looked up. Stretched out before him was a row of impossibly tall sculptures. Their journey was at an end.
They're huge.
Cried Panda, completely forgetting the heat and pain over the past few hours.
I've never seen anything so big.
Each sculpture was formed from roughly the same shape, a tall rectangle that stretched up towards the sky, but that is where the similarities end. Most were covered with panes of glass that reflected the light in 1,000 directions, while others seemed to be nothing but frames of steel. Some had tall spires on their tops, while others possessed triangular caps.
What kind of city is this?
Said Panda.
Where are the people? Where are the houses?
Perhaps the land is intended exclusively for artistic use. The debate continued as they made their way through the city. Miracles of artistry were everywhere. Great iron crates with wheels sat silent on steel rails. Beautifully carved works with lights of red, amber, and green dangled over every street.
Red, gold, and green. Loving is easy if anything like my dream. Sorry.
As they moved away from the massive sculptures, they found a great array of smaller ones. Some were covered in glass or brick, but many were composed of materials they had never before encountered. The sheer variety of colors and styles were staggering. Unable to find the theme or purpose of the abstract works around them, Panda and Weiss eventually fell silent. On the outskirts of the city, they discovered three sculptures in the shape of humans. Panda uttered a sigh of relief as he approached them.
Finally, I was getting tired of all that modern art.
The three statues were indistinguishable except for a single word chiseled onto their right arms. One read Alpha, one red beta, and the final one red gamma. As Panda moved to touch the nearest statue, a bird flew from the top of one of the sculptures, alighting on the statue's shoulder, and emitted a brief, beautiful song that took the form of words.
Gah! Only one form is real, the others are false. The real form will always speak the truth. The false ones only speak lies.
With that, the bird departed. As if on cue, the three statues shuddered to life, acquiring color and form as they began to breathe,
Hey, look at that.
said Panda.
They're alive! Alive!
The triplets bowed low before Panda.
Please, said Alpha. You have to get me out of this nightmare. I am real. Stop lying,
Said Beta. He turned to Panda and threw his hands in the air.
Alpha is fake, you know. I'm the real one.
I'm writing it down as I go.
What a load of crap, said Gamma. Beta is fake. Everyone knows I'm the only real one around here. The respective pleas given, the three statues returned to their frozen state as silence once again enveloped the city. When you consider all of the statements, only one of them can be the real thing, said Weiss. Pando furrowed his eyebrows and considered his answer.
Only one form is real, the others are false. The real form will always speak the truth. The false ones will only speak lies. Gah!
So, what's your answer?
Well, Alpha said he was real, but didn't accuse either of the others of being fake.
Okay.
Beta said that he was real, and Alpha was fake.
Okay.
Gamma said he was real, and that Beta was fake. Neither accused Alpha of being fake. I mean, no.
If I
Beta
remember correctly, Gamma actually accused both of them of being fake.
Oh. Did Gamma accuse both of them? I thought he
Yeah,
just
I think it
accused-
was like, this is a load of crap. I'm the only real one. Which, but in turns, the other one's in the fakers.
Oh, okay. I'm the only real one. So you said... So this one
But he also said the other ones are lying. So,
Yeah. Which would make sense, because the false ones speak lies.
yes.
Because then that would mean... So it would be Gamma then.
Would it be? What did Beta say?
That it's real and Alpha's fake.
But if it's lying, that means Alpha's real and he is fake. If it can
Right.
only speak lies.
Yes, so...
So if that's true, then Gamma is false.
Right, so it is Alpha then.
Is it? I mean, I don't remember, so. The eyes of the statues shone in eerie light. The light grew stronger and stronger until Panda and Weiss were forced to turn away.
Ah, crap.
Oh, time to skip forward until we get there again.
Yep. Well, that was a mistake. This is the worst job ever. Alright, let's do this quickly. Yeah, it's quiet. Yeah, right. Water. Funny.
Let's read their statements more closely this time when we get
Okay.
there. Just so we can more accurately know what they're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still quite a ways.
Yeah. I hope the people enjoyed your crow voice.
That was painful.
It sounded like it. You might be bleeding.
That's half the fun. Okay. You have to get me out of this nightmare. I am real.
I believe that first part.
Stop lying. Alpha is fake, you know. I'm the real one. What a load of crap. Beta is fake. Everyone knows I'm the only real one around here. Okay. I thought it was accusing both.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
That's probably the everyone knows is the part that threw me off, so.
Oh, okay. If beta is fake,
Well, we know alpha's fake now.
yeah. So if beta is fake,
Actually, no. Okay, we know alpha's fake. That makes it easy.
yeah.
So if gamma's fake, it's saying beta is the real one. Everyone knows I'm the fake one if we reverse it.
Yeah.
And beta says alpha's fake.
Right.
Now let's look at it from the gamma perspective. If beta's lying, oh well, never mind.
Oh, sorry. I didn't know that was
Oh,
gonna.
let's keep going. Let's just give her old stab in the dark. You gonna do it?
I'm just thinking. So we know you're not. So therefore, if we flip it and we said fake, but alpha can't be real. So we know beta.
Okay. You gonna say that? Let's hear.
The real one is beta.
Though Panda's voice betrayed a notable lack of confidence, he was relieved to see White's nodding at him. If Alpha were telling the truth, began Weiss in the dry tones of a lecturer, Beta and Gamma would be fakes. But in that case, Gamma's claim that Beta is fake would be truth, even though Gamma is a liar. Therefore, that theory crumbles. Now let us presume that Gamma spoke the truth. That makes Alpha and Beta liars. In this situation, however, Beta is calling Alpha a liar, which would leave us with two statues telling the truth. Finally, let's assume that Beta is telling the truth. If so, Alpha and Gamma's lies would make sense. Therefore, Beta must be real. As Weiss finished his explanation, Alpha and Gamma crumbled soundlessly in the dust, while Beta sprang into life once more. Congratulations, villager, said... okay. Weiss in a cheerful voice.
Wow. Weiss's cheerful voice is really out there.
He tries to stay dry, and yeah.
Yeah, every now and again.
The time to awaken has arrived.
There you go.
Which one did I... Oh,
Thank you for saving me.
yeah, that's the voice I used.
Yeah.
He dropped to his knees and bowed his head, as low as it could go before an uncomfortable panda pulled him to his feet. Why did you have a dream like this? Asked Weiss. Have you been to this city before? The villager slowly looked around at the bizarre objects and sculptures that dotted the landscape, then shook his head.
I don't think so.
I mean, it's impossible, right? There's no way I could have ever been to a place like this. But at the same time, it feels like I've seen it before. Muttered Panda.
It's just like the damn mayor.
The vague sense of ease that struck Panda during the mayor's dream spread once more through his mind.
Okay, that was terrible.
I am positive I have seen that place before.
Stop! I am getting enough for bunny crap from everybody else in my life. Don't you start too. Okay, there. Now all the villagers can wake up, right?
Yes, if the mayor's assumption was correct. I think I have enough wordplay to last a lifetime, thank you very much.
Yeah, I hear you. Well, let's go see the mayor.
There's a rock there. Ooh, a breaky thing.
Yeah, bots.
Oh, I don't need that. I didn't take any damage. I did go game over, though. That's pretty bad.
You died to words. Literally.
You know what? There are times in college where I felt like that was actually going to happen. That's the truth. Mostly because I got hit in the head with a stray textbook.
Oh, there's many things you've been hit in the head with.
Hello.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Here, I have something for you.
The one-handed sword faith.
Holy crap! I can really have this? Of course. It's apparently a weapon of some renown, but we have little use for it. Well, we appreciate it. Thank you again for everything.
Let's take a gander at that new sword.
Reach out and touch faith.
It's very light though.
Ooh, fast.
Yeah.
Let's go hit stuff.
Do the charge up. I'm curious. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Fiery sword.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna hold on to this one. I kind of like that idea. We hope you enjoyed this edition of Ravenshire Hobby Plays Nier, as it was voice acted by two completely novice voice actors. That's right, we did all of that in one take. If you couldn't figure it out, well, shame on you for not paying attention. Seriously though, we did that whole thing straight through, one take, one time. That's not even a joke. Our voices were shot after that. Also, the mayor's voice kept changing because guess what? It's really hard to do the panda voice and then go into your Don Knotts / Bill Clinton hybrid voice. Yeah, that's just a personal thing of mine. Anyways, if you did enjoy this, or even if you didn't, like, share, comment, subscribe below, and go over to RavenshireHobby.com. We talk about this regularly, but yeah, help us out. We want to keep doing these. We want to keep being crazy. Oh, and speaking of crazy, next time, just get ready. One of the best cuts in this series is coming. I promise. Ish. Bye-bye.